We continue our Drexel watch party now with Reid Bowering. Reid, we're coming out of quite the win from back in 2017, your freshman year. You guys knock off number 2 Hofstra on the road, a game I don't think anybody saw you guys doing what you did. And I forgot, because I remembered the game, but I forgot how many goals you were down, even entering just the fourth quarter. Can you, just take me back to what on earth you were thinking during that game?
Yeah, I mean, we played one of the worst halves. I mean, I was a freshman, but one of the worst halves I've ever seen a team play. And then our captain, Jake O'Donnell, came in and pretty much reamed us out at halftime. And I think he said something around, we're down so bad anyways, we might as well just try as hard as we can and get back in it.
Well,
and then we did.
Yeah, I mean, you're down 10-3 at one point in that first half, 11-6 at the start of the fourth quarter. I mean, Jimmy Joe Granito, who's your goalie at the time, had a huge game. What are some of the moments that you remember in that second half when you guys started to make that comeback?
Yeah, well, I definitely remember that save he made on the crease where he stuffed somebody, and then I don't know if it was Josh Byrne. He stuffed Josh Byrne again and Tierney. So their two best players. He stuffed them right in the crease. I remember just thinking, oh man, they're going to tie it up here or something on the other end, and somehow we came out of that a lot because of him.
And I mean, that was a big win for you guys. At that point, Hofstra was the only unbeaten team still in Division I lacrosse. They're number 2 in the country. You guys had kind of a mediocre season and lost a bunch early to some good teams and still try to figure it out. What did that win mean for you guys in that season? But also, I have to think that had to build some confidence on what you guys would do then over the next couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, huge confidence booster, and just knowing that you can beat a team that was ranked second in the country is obviously huge for your morale. And I think, I mean, especially for me, I always go into a game knowing you can beat anyone, but I think just for the entire group as a whole, it just gave us that extra boost of confidence. And for the freshmen in my class who, we were there for the next 5 years, I'm sure we took that and always had that in the back of our minds, knowing we can beat anyone in the country any year, anytime.
So that was obviously a memorable game. Do you have a favorite game from your college career?
There's a bunch. I mean, obviously when we won the conference tournament, that was amazing. My first game ever against UVA was awesome on Klockner grass. It was fresh. No one had ever used it. It was their first home game. It was sunny out. Their fans were packed. So that's a really cool game as well.
Yeah, you just knocked the bookend of your career there. First game and last. What was it like to close your career with the CAA championship? Especially, I mean, for you guys, the group of people that stuck around for that 5th year. You had the COVID year, another fall that wasn't great. What did it mean to be able to cap everything with a CAA title?
Yeah, it meant a lot because, I mean, you're doing 5 years of college and you're working so hard in the weight room and at practice for 5 years with some of your best friends. And that was something from when we first stepped on campus our freshman year that we've been working for 5 years. So it's nice to finally reach our goal after essentially failing 4 years before that. And to do that with some of your best friends and see all your hard work pay off, it was unforgettable.
And I mean, for you too, you had been a key contributor since your freshman year. Step on and you're a starter early on in your career, and you finally get a chance to pay it off. What was different about that team in 2021? Because we are going to show that CAA championship game coming up in a couple of games here.
Yeah, I think we just had all the pieces across the board, and it's also just how hard you worked in practice. And the year before that, the year before that and the year before that, so 2 years prior, you could see a shift, I feel like, in our practices from the start of the fall all the way to the end of their season. And we could feel it in our locker room, just we could be really good and we just got to put this together. And even with that weird COVID year, our practices were really good. Guys were trying really hard. And, just in the locker room, you have that feeling, we all want to be here. We all want to win. And I think that was the difference.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of scrappy and tough. I think it embodies the whole conference. But you guys, I mean, Philadelphia, I grew up outside the city, so I know what people are like there. And I mean, you being from British Columbia, obviously you just go to school there. But it feels like even when you got a bunch of guys who are some Canadians from different parts of the country, that's a little bit of what Drexel embodies. Where does that come from? Some of the scrappy and tough grittiness.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just even just where we practice. It's not like the state of the art facility or anything like that. Like it's a little gritty. So I think that embodies the whole program. And obviously some of the guys from Philly, they bring a lot of that Philly toughness as well. The grit in practice, the fights that come about in practice. So yeah, it's everyone coming together, and of course, Coach Volker.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, we're going to send people here in a minute to the 2019 semifinal where you guys upset UMass on your way to a CAA championship game appearance. What do you remember from that game?
I mean, I remember just knowing that we could, like, I felt like the first game of the year where we actually played our best. When that whole year, like, I mean, I felt like obviously we had great pieces. We had like Marshall King, and we had so many good players, and we finally put it together for that game. And obviously we were the 4th seed, so not many people were expecting us to win, but I think we all knew that we could definitely win that game.
And the play, I think I've watched it 100 times now. The play at the end of the 3rd quarter where it's a breakaway for UMass. You guys, I think, were up a couple at the time, and Ross Blumenthal makes his stop. I don't know if I've ever seen a bench explode like that for a save.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That was awesome, and to see Ross's reaction after that too. I've never seen so much emotion of him, so that was awesome. I think he's a freshman at the time too, so.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He was. That was his first year. I remember following him finally getting a start, and he never lost that job. And you guys made a run to the CAA championship game.
Yeah.
It was a memorable one. So we're going to show people that semifinal win over UMass. And Reid, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much for being part of this watch party.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.